Is the shoulder twitch involuntary?
I just get uncomfortable while I'm driving.
Okay.
And I tend to just do that. Yeah, it's kind of aggravating. It's like I just have I carry all my tension in my neck and upper shoulder blades, and when I get aggravated, it just starts tensing up.
I hear you. I do that too.
And so I just try to just like work it out by moving.
So you grew up around here?
Me, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, we're in South Philly right now. This is called East Passio, and that's my old neighborhood where I grew up. So I grew up right around here.
It's interesting that your name's so close to where you grew up.
Mm-hmm. Passio, yeah.
What other kind of like overlays in that way have kind of popped up over the course of your life? Correspondence between like name, what you do, like Mark the name being like what's posted on your fridge. That's a really interesting insight.
Right, yeah, warrior, yep. Mark Passio literally means suffering warrior, and I would say that perfectly describes my life.
Freedom, man. That's what it's all about. You've got to groove on freedom, like the good book says.
Welcome. You are listening to What on Earth is Happening. This show will discuss the topics of human consciousness, mind control, natural law, the occult, and all issues that affect the freedom of the people of Earth. What on Earth is Happening will endeavor to shine light upon the darkness of our world and to offer empowering solutions to the problems we face as humanity approaches its critical moment of choice. And now, here is your host, Mark Passio.
Okay. So, yeah, some people know this, but a lot don't. I'm a pro wrestling fan. That's my guilty pleasure when I'm done my work for the day. I mean, I like the style of acting that comes into play in pro wrestling. It's called kayfabe. It means you're trying to make it look real, like you're real adversaries, but you're not really trying to harm the so-called opponent. You're basically working for the same team, and it's just a show for the people who are watching, just like politics. So kayfabe and politics perfectly reflect each other. So I always like that dynamic, and it shows you how the mind of the audience can be swayed on a dime. I look at pro wrestling that I have a bunch of books on over there. This is like a guild. It's like they're like performers in a traveling show. And what they are using it for is to deceive, to manipulate, and ultimately to control and enslave. And that is how dark occultism really needs to be seen. Not as just going out into the woods and sacrificing animals in black robes. That's not what the dark occult is. The dark occult is very ancient hidden psychology that a certain priest class in our world uses to completely deceive and manipulate the average dumb masses of people.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Draw attention to that man behind the curtain.
We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors. The world is our stage.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So, I mean, the first thing I would say about this game is it, brings a lot of the negative symbolism to light, and I personally never liked the name Illuminati. I don't use it. I don't describe the enemies of humanity as such, because Illuminati is a Latin term meaning illuminated or enlightened. So these beings are not illuminated. They are not enlightened beings. They're trash. So I just refer to them as dark occultists, just evil psychopaths, mind control sorcerers. You could take your pick, psychopathic globalists, the network, as they call it. That's a good name. I think that's a better name than the Illuminati. It's just the network. That's all it is. It's a network of globalist psychopaths and Satanists.
The Church of Satan is an idea more than a building. It is a large network of people internationally who are committed to the ideas of Satanism.
We've been seeing a number of patients, basically young women, who in therapy are having these flashbacks, recovered memories of satanic abuse.
My next guest was used also in worshiping the devil, participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism. She says her family has been involved in rituals for generations.
My first memory of abuse that I can still remember was my father forcing me to fillet him in the cradle.
They threatened to kill my little girl.
That comes out of experimentation from Nazi doctors and experimentation in the intelligence community with mind control research, and involves medical technology and is very, very sophisticated.
Everything revolves around protecting the system, not we the people. Everything we see happening revolves around protecting the system.
Mind control, the ramifications of mind control are far-reaching, because I also know that under mind control there's no free thought. Without free thought, there's no free will. Without God-given free will, there's no soul expression. What kind of a world peace can we have without any free will or any soul expression, without any spirituality?
We have before us
Satanism is an ancient occult religion comprised of diverse, interconnected networks of worldwide adherents. And I'm telling you, this is going on in so many more communities than you could possibly even understand. That it's omnipresent. It's omnipresent. Okay? And this is who these people who are self-loathing order followers are taking their orders from. And again, if you don't understand that, you're not awake. You only believe you're awake. You believe you have some understanding of what's going on this planet. I'm telling you, you don't know near the bottom of it. Not even close. A lot of little trinkets and artifacts from over the years that I collected. This was my grandmother's. I painted it up. Some mushroom collectibles. This was Barb's Buddha. I gave him a place there. I've collected masks from all over the world, from people who have visited places, and they'll say, "Oh, you want me to bring you back anything?" Yeah, get me a mask. I'll add it to my collection. Over here on this side, I would say are some of the most important occult books physically that I own. some older books, like from actual Masonic libraries, some books that are out of print. Basically, this is the occult and esoteric section right around here. I have whole sections dedicated to non-terrestrial intelligence and interaction with planet Earth. This would be mysticism, New Age, spirituality in general, from very eclectic and diverse sources and topics and opinions. There's shamanism and psychedelics here. Ancient, building techniques and, Stonehenge, stone circles, books on crop circles. Over here is basically the whole religion section, mythology. Over here on this side is basic history. Anything from politics to world history to certain forms of conspiracy in history. Political and financial mixed in. So that's that section in general. This is what I call the freedom section. Some aspects of the esoteric, people who have written on freedom. The trivium is in there. This is my whole section on Nazism. That spills over to there, where it continues with communism. A lot of communism books right down there. This is my dark occult section, these shelves here. Satanism, the dark occult, etc. Fucking torture. Sitting in this chair every day is a fucking torture. I'm Mark Passio of whatonearthishappening.com. Most people can't really handle my work, what I say or how I say it.
The word government literally means to control the mind.
Because I don't sugarcoat things.
They're lazy scumbag bags of shit.
I just say them as they are.
I know more about your religion than you know, moron.
And I take a very no bullshit approach to things.
I think these doctors and lawyers and politicians give a shit about you? They don't care about you at fucking all.
And most people are soft, wishy-washy people that can't hear things like that.
This is the result of just following orders. And take a good, hard, cold look at it, because you're going to see it. You're going to see it manifest in this world in your lifetime if we don't rapidly change the consciousness of a large portion of human beings on this planet. It can still be done, even at this late hour. It's a matter of will we do it,
I got started in the alternative research and publishing community around 2007 after I had experienced involvement with the real controllers behind the scenes of politics and law and law enforcement, etc., and realized that they were involved in Satanism and dark occultism. And I read everything I could by LaVey, who was the head of the Church of Satan at the time. This was back in the early 90s. And LaVey actually contacted me, and in the package that he sent me, this manila envelope showed up at my house. He gave me an appointment to priesthood in the Church of Satan because of how well I understood and espoused the satanic ideology. So I did contact some of these people and essentially went to some of their grotto meetings and rituals. And that's where I really discovered that Satanism was something that was altogether something different than what I had originally thought it was, at least at an organized level. People will immediately hear that and then say, I'm trying to say the Church of Satan runs the world. No, I'm not. I'm saying that LaVey coalesced the satanic ideology for the average person. There were people in positions of power at these satanic grotto meetings and rituals. So there were bankers, lawyers, doctors, nurses. There were people there that were involved in the governor's administration of Pennsylvania at the time, and it went higher up than that. And others, judges were there, like circuit court judges, principals of schools, you name it. They had state troopers guarding the home where the rituals were at. Off-duty state troopers showing up, armed, stationed at the doors.
They were working together as a tight-knit unit of a hierarchical worldwide network toward one common goal, and that goal was to increase their own collective power at the expense of everybody else's freedom. In other words, they wanted to become the kings of the world and enslave everybody else in the process. That was their goal.
In the actual grotto meetings that I attended when I was a priest in the Church of Satan, and again, it was attended by people throughout the Satanic Network. It wasn't just Church of Satan members. They referred to Satanism as the old religion. They talked about it as a religion that has been here since humanity has existed, and is a religion for the mindset of the rulers of humanity. And how it works is they give the average member of the population a lower level version of their mindset, such that the populace is inculcated. They become what I call de facto Satanists, and they don't even know that they're behaving in a satanic mindset. And then it leads into, the really dark areas that are slippery slopes into totalitarianism and slavery, and ultimately death, because it is a death cult. You get into then the ideology of social Darwinism, the extrusion of animal behavior into the human social realm, meaning that the most ruthless and vicious of human beings should really rule the pecking order of human beings that is established. And then you finally come to the final solution, as it's been called, of eugenics, that the master class can ultimately decide who lives and who dies and can exterminate undesirables. And, that's really where we've come today. I refer to it as the technocratic occultocracy. That's who the rulers really are. They are an occult class. They're not a patriarchy. They're not a matriarchy. It's not just an oligarchy. It's not ruled by financiers and bankers. They're just an arm of it. They're just one tentacle. It is ruled by occultists. It is ruled by a hidden priest class with knowledge that the average individual has never even encountered, let alone understands. And they are a technocratic priest class. They are masters of technology, not necessarily themselves, but their entire modus operandi is centered around technological control. And that's why I call it a technocratic occultocracy. So that's their religion, and they act upon it. It's not just a belief system for them, it's a way of being in the world, it's a lifestyle, and they don't just talk about their beliefs, even among themselves. They have a very driven mindset, and they go out and they accomplish what they say they're going to do.
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Jay, tell me about yourself. Who are you? And come forward, please.
I'm Jay Parker. I'm a researcher and a natural law advocate.
And tell me about what you survived and how you're trying to spread word about it.
I survived monarch mind control, and I was in the MK Ultra program in the 1960s. By having a system like trauma-based mind control, through trauma and through abuse, you steer the consciousness.
And what does that entail? Just to give people a sense of the actual
It
method.
entails gang raping, torture, blood sacrifice rituals. I mean, Arden, Delaware in the 60s and the 70s while I was there was 90% dark occult. And you live in a town that's 90% human sacrificing dark occult. So there's nowhere to run to. And then,
And what about the 10% who weren't dark occult? Are they just
they
completely
were there
oblivious? Or?
so that the people who were dark occult could practice their persona of being normal, everyday Americans.
So how would you describe, like, Satanists? They just probably seem very friendly and nice, and until you get to know them.
They're excellent actors. I mean, look at the politicians in America.
Well, on that note, can you please touch on the overlap between Satanism, religion, pedophilia, religion, and how it's really a control mechanism?
Why is it that the last pope, I forget, what's his name?
Francis.
Yeah,
just died.
Francis just died.
And before
Now,
him was,
all the bishops,
Ratzinger.
like 4 or 5 years ago, wanted a worldwide investigation into priesthood pedophilia. They all voted on this. And it passed. The measure passed. And they brought it to the Pope, a petition to the Pope. Please, let's have a full investigation of worldwide pedophilia in our priesthood. You know what Francis did? He said no. And what I'm saying to you is, you're going to church when the Pope says we don't want to investigate pedophiles that are hurting our Catholic children.
Look at the Pope before Francis, Benedict, Ratzinger. He is the guy who hid the finances and the money trail for all the pedophilia that was going on within the church's structure, and basically was rewarded with the popehood. He was rewarded with the papacy because he basically hid the paper trail of families being paid off by the church from its coffers to basically not criminally pursue pedophile priests.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law.
So that's the basic elements of my background story. What my life story has become since then is trying to disseminate as much information in digital form out on the internet as possible to get people to understand this.
This is about doing it here, boots on the ground, streetwise spirituality.
This is an educational outreach operation. That's it. That's all it's for. And all the data is free. It's all out there for free. And quite frankly, has not gone well. Quite frankly, I don't expect it to go well. They told me exactly what the truth was about where the human mindset is at. It's in a state of perfect thrall. Some people have woken up. It's altogether a piss poor effort. The freedom movement is junk. It's wishy-washy people who don't know enough, who don't have enough skills, who don't put skin in the game. That's why the freedom community sucks. It's a bunch of pranksters is what it is. It's pranksters. There's no adult, there's very few adults in this community. The rest are babyfied pranksters that have no life skills, don't know how to do anything, and want to remain anonymous cowards. And they're no help to our team. They're no help to our cause. They're no help to our effort. And I can't calm down. I can't just be calm about it. I can't. We shouldn't be being calm about it. We should be up in fucking motherfuckers' faces about it. I'm extremely disappointed at the progress of the truth movement. It's a shame. It's sad. They don't have an accurate understanding. They're still stuck in religion. They're still stuck in money. They're still stuck in politics. They're still stuck in the belief in authority. It's a tragic mess. It's a clusterfuck. It is profoundly sad at a spiritual level. It's sad. It's not just angering. It's mournful would be the word that I would use. So that's how I feel almost every single day. And anybody that looks at the state of the world and you don't feel that way, or you think we're winning somehow, or things are improving drastically or rapidly, I think you belong in an insane asylum.
I'm not black-pilled, folks. I'm just very dejected over how poorly our performance has been in this battle.
You got back from the Poconos today. Nice. Yeah, it was nice, man. Much there.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
White hats do their work out in the open in the modern world. You know, it's like there's always going to be people coming together and, their interests converge, and then they're going to, basically plot and scheme, in the shadows to get their agendas accomplished. And I think that goes on in just about every fraternal order and brotherhood and secret society network. So that's why I'm not a joiner of things like that.
Yeah, I think that's a really great way of putting it, and something that a lot of people just fail to recognize, that it's the time where if you're the light, you're supposed to be out in the open to illuminate everyone.
Absolutely. Don't play secret agent, man. Just say it plainly and clearly for other people to hear and understand. That's doing the great work.
What about the people who are still of the mindset that because people are so stupid, they aren't ready? That if you gave them this kind of knowledge or power, that they just
yeah,
fall
that's the hermetic ideology. It's quite frankly a crock of shit. And not all hermetics are, but that aspect of it is a crock of shit. If you don't understand that you got to be speaking at this point in the game, and you're doing more damage by not speaking than by telling people something potentially they could exploit, you don't understand how late it is. We're in the 11th hour, 59 minute. The beauty of the tarot deck is absolutely unbelievable, and it is something that should be revered. The people who created the system of the tarot and what it explains were geniuses, and the system of symbolic correspondences is unmatched. If we have self-mastery, we're going to understand these forces. If we don't, and we remain in material world identification of materialism and lack of spirituality, we're not going to understand these forces, and we're going to create things that we don't want. And that's what this macrocosmic tree represents. All representative of the universe and its forces, and how we can create whatever reality we ultimately wish to create through our free will choices. So if we do nothing and we just let entropy have its way and evil have its way, essentially, this is where we end up. So this is being stuck in materialism, being stuck in physical world identification, judgment. And the angel the universe is calling us up out of our spiritual death. It's calling us into spiritual rebirth. So you see the dead, and again, that's what the dark occultists call human beings. They call us the dead because largely our species is spiritually dead. But we are being called up by the clarion call of the trumpet blower, the angel, to rise up out of our spiritual death. And then finally, at the very top of the macrocosmic tree of life is natural law, the justice card, the king of all creation, the force which ultimately governs everything that manifests in our world, natural law. People believe we're supposed to stack up the most comfort and pleasure before we die. That's the prevailing worldview here on this planet among the human population. In order to shift that to a worldview that encompasses the rights and freedom of all people, we are here to do something to change the human condition from slavery to freedom. We are here to change the human condition from apathy and ignorance to intelligence and true responsibility. In order to shift the worldview to the point where we understand that the real purpose of life, cosmically, is to learn and grow in consciousness.